Shabby Gamer here, and welcome to the WWE 2K16 Universe Mode, and this, which is going to be our very first episode of NXT. Now this is exciting for me, because this is the only new brand we have this year. Of course, this has replaced Combat Zone Wrestling from last year. And yeah, it's going to be great. We've got a pretty good roster on the game, and of course we've added quite a few creative wrestlers ourselves, so I'm really looking forward to this one. And of course, as you can see, our first pay-per-view will be NXT Arrival, and that's in 3 weeks' time. So tonight, we will start building up to that pay-per-view. So let's have a quick look at the card. And hopefully this time I won't press simulate by mistake. There we go. Start from the beginning. We're going to start things off. Our very first episode of NXT is going to be Rhyno taking on Neville. That's going to be a great match, that one. Going to have the power of Rhyno taking on the pace of Neville. Our second match is going to be the tag team champions, Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. They're going to take on Enzo, Amore and Colin Cassidy in an elimination tag match. That's one of the matches that the game's actually booked by itself, so I decided to keep that one. I quite like that. Match number 3. Now, this is going to be a fatal 4-way women's match to become the #1 contender for Bayley's NXT Women's Championship. It's going to be Asuka, Nia Jax, Charlotte, and Sasha Banks. We're going to see our NXT champion, Hideo Itami, taking on the former NXT champion, in real life, of course, Bo Dallas. We're going to have an NXT Television Championship match as Solomon Crowe defends his belt against Tyler Breeze. And our main event. Let me just grab my paperwork and double check I got this right. Yes, it is. This is going to be a 6-man battle royal to become the #1 contender for Hideo Itami's NXT Championship. The winner of this match will go on to main event NXT TakeOver Arrival. It's Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin, Finn Balor, Apollo Crews, and Cesaro. Now this was a match suggested by Nathan Wynn a couple of weeks ago when we first started doing our championship tournaments. I like the idea, and it really helps us really make this first episode of NXT special with this huge main event we've got. But anyway, enough of me blabbing on. Let's get straight into our first match. And like I said, that first match is going to be the War Machine Rhyno taking on Neville. And here we go. And like I said, I've been looking forward to this very first episode here on NXT for a very long time now. Ever since I started to see the roster for 2K16, I knew that this year we had to do NXT. Of course, we were given guys like Enzo, Amore, Colin Cassidy, Simon Gotch and Aiden English, Baron Corbin, of course, guys like Hideo Itami and Finn Balor. You did NXT roster this year, and I don't think it's a major problem because all the guys that we had in Combat Zone Wrestling in 2K15, majority of them have found homes elsewhere, including Rhyno here, who is Rhyno's actually working quite a lot of rosters. He's going to work NXT. He's going to work Ring of Honor, and he's going to work the Attitude Era all at the same time. So we're going to be seeing a lot of Rhyno this year. And of course, Neville will be working both NXT and, of course, on the WWE current day roster as well. Neville is, of course, our Cruiserweight champion in the current day roster. One thing that I think is a possibility is maybe defending belts like the Cruiserweight Championship at NXT. That is going to be a possibility. Now, I say this because we've got 7 belts, I believe. 7 belts? We've got a lot of belts on current day roster, and of course it's not going to be easy to defend them all at the pay-per-view. So belts like the Cruiserweight Championship, where the majority of guys in the Cruiserweight division are going to be on NXT as well, so that's definitely something we could really work towards for our NXT Arrival event. Of course, if you haven't seen it already, Neville defeated Kalisto on Monday Night Raw, and what was an absolutely fantastic match. We know next week Neville is also going to face Sin Cara. And yeah, we'll have to try and... if Neville defeats Sin Cara, then we'll have to try and find some way in the next week to try and sort of pick up a #1 contender for that Cruiserweight Championship. If Sin Cara manages to defeat Neville in that non-title match, then of course Sin Cara will be the #1 contender outright. But there's a lot of guys involved in this Cruiserweight division this year. So yeah, I think a lot of them do work for NXT as well, so there's no reason why we couldn't make a #1 contendership match for the NXT, make a #1 contendership match for the Cruiserweight Championship over the next few weeks and have that match, have that belt actually defended at NXT Arrival. That's something that I've just thought off the top of my head, and I quite like that idea actually. Something we can definitely do. Of course, for some of the bigger pay-per-views, NXT will have some of their championships being defended at WWE, sort of things like SummerSlam, Survivor Series, WrestleMania, all that sort of thing we're going to see. So there's no reason why we couldn't do the other way around as well. The pin there by Rhyno early on, only for the 2 count. So yeah, that's something we can definitely look at doing. Yeah, I like that. Neville, we're going to announce it now officially. Neville will defend his Cruiserweight Championship at NXT Arrival. No word yet on who it's going to be. We will decide it either on Monday Night Raw or NXT over the next few weeks. Of course, we've got 3 episodes of both before that big NXT Arrival pay-per-view. So I'm looking forward to that, actually. It's a great idea, actually, that I've just had. Well done, me. Pat on the back. Yeah, I actually did pat myself on the back, then you heard that. But Rhyno, on the other hand, Rhyno, not quite sure what we're going to do with him as yet. I really want to feud him with a couple of guys. I'm not sure whether to... I think keeping Rhyno as a heel is a good idea because a lot of the top NXT guys are faces. Of course, Owens is a heel. Baron Corbin's a heel. But apart from that, Hideo, Itami, Sami Zayn, Cesaro, Apollo Crews, Finn Balor, they're all faces. So it's important to keep Rhyno as a heel, I think, just to try and keep things on the level. Try and balance the roster as best we can. Neville with a pin. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count. Rhyno manages to kick out, and I do believe, actually, if I can find my piece of paper with it written down on. I've gone posh for a second here. No, they're 2 pretty good matches. Actually been suggested by William a few days ago. That's not the piece of paper I'm looking for. Where is my piece of paper? I do have a piece of paper somewhere. I did a piece of paper somewhere where it was a match suggested by Jay in the comment section below for what we could do on our first episode of the Attitude Era. Of course, our first episode of the Attitude Era, we're going to have to try and crown to #1 contenders for a lot of our championships, since their first pay-per-view is going to be not this Sunday coming, but the Sunday after. So that's definitely what we're going to have to do this weekend. Just try and name some of those #1 contenders. But I'm sure Jay suggested a hardcore championship match, and I can't remember off the top of my head if that included the War Machine. Right? Is it the War Machine? It's the Man Beast Rhyno. It's not the War Machine, is it? War Machine is somebody else. It's the Man Beast Rhyno. Where are my pieces of paper gone? So I've just got pieces of paper spread all across my desk here. It's not particularly going well, I must admit. But yeah, the Hardcore Championship will be defended on our first episode of Friday Night Raw is War. And I've got a feeling that Rhyno is involved in that, as is RVD, I think. And of course, the Hardcore Champion, the Sandman, will be involved in that as well. It's going to be it's going to be a Fatal 4-Way Extreme Rules match, of course, for that belt. I think majority of the Hardcore Championship matches are going to probably be Fatal 4-Ways, just because that's the way it was back in the old Attitude Era with the Hardcore Championship matches. They were much bigger amounts of people. There was a lot more carnage and weapons and all sorts. It was just quick and exciting, and that's the sort of thing that we're really looking for this year as well with our Hardcore division. One thing that it's a bit of a shame, is they've taken away our backstage brawls. That's the one I'm thinking of. Backstage brawl, and that could have worked out perfectly for us with the 24/7 brawl. As Neville's going up top, has he got a red arrow lined up? No, it's a moonsault. The hell of a rotation on that moonsault, though. Is it going to be enough? He goes for the pin here on Rhyno. 1, 2. No, it's only enough for a 2 count. Neville nearly picked up our first ever victory here on NXT. Is it NXT television? I'm not sure. I think it is, isn't it? Or is it just NXT? I have no idea. I kept getting confused that yesterday with Global Force Wrestling Amped, and I do apologise to my Global Force. I know my commentary was very shite, shall I put it a better way. So I don't know what it was yesterday, but I kept getting my words wrong. I kept getting the names of the wrestlers wrong, and I think it's because I was rushing, because I realised just how long it's taken to record the episodes this year. Tonight I've managed to get a little bit ahead of myself, so shouldn't be too bad. I'm going to really sit back and enjoy this one. Then, yeah, I think the main problem is not necessarily the recording, it's the editing that takes a long time at the moment. Last night I didn't go to bed till very late again last night, because I was editing these videos and recording these videos, and yeah, I just want to try this weekend. Should be the time that I can get ahead of myself, probably get about a few episodes in hand recorded, and then I can sort of take it a bit easier. What I want to try and do as of next week, if I can get there, I want to try and have 3 things uploaded per day. That's going to be an episode of our Universe Mode, 1 random match, and then an episode of Fallout 4. That's what I want to try and get to. 3 uploads a day. I don't think that should be too much problem. I've got about 20 episodes of Fallout 4 already recorded. I've tried to upload a few today. Finally, of course, got our Ring of Honor and everything uploaded. So we're completely up to date with all the championship tournaments and all of the introduction episodes. So now it's just all down to the Universe Mode. And of course, I've got my Fallout 4. Like I said, I'll be trying to upload an episode of that every single day now. And might get a few episodes a day uploaded to start off with, because like I said, I've got so many in hand already. It would make sense to do that. Rhyno with a pin. 1, 2. And it's a kick out here by Adrian Neville. And I tell you what, although these guys are not involved in our big main event here this evening, this is still a very important match in the championship rankings. Of course, I think the rankings on 2K16 are going to work a little bit better than what they've done in 2K15. I think we might start to see a bit more change, because last year you used to have somebody who was like 6th. They'd beat the guy who was the #1 contender, and neither of them would actually move in the rankings at all. So I don't know quite sure why the rankings were even involved last year, because they did not work at all. But this year I think they seem to work a bit more effectively. I saw in the first couple of episodes guys that got big victories were moving up 2 or 3 places, and that's the way it really should be, and that would be the way that it would really help us out in the long term in our universe mode. Because I think the longer the universe mode goes on, the more stable it's going to go, if that makes sense. When some of the top guys start to pick up some more momentum, when they start to pick up more victories and get higher up in the rankings, then I think it's going to become, like I say, a bit more realistic and a bit more stable, and we can probably understand if we put the NXT champion against the jobber, you know for a fact the NXT champion will win. I have seen a couple of guys, I can't remember who it was, it may have been Tony Pizza guy. There's the big gore by Rhyno. Big gore by Rhyno, and that could be all here against Neville. Rhyno in with the pin. 1, 2, and no, Neville kicks out from Rhyno's gore. Oh my word, Neville is really showing his resilience here this evening. Yeah, like I was saying, I think it was Tony Pizza guy who simulated through a year or 2 years, I think it might have been. And I think he ended up with, he didn't touch anything at all, didn't change anything, didn't change any stats or anything like that. He simmed through 2 years, and I think Fandango was the WWE champion. So it just shows you that the game can still go a bit random, but I think having us here to really guide it in the right direction, but then let the game take the lead, I think is going to be the best way. So obviously we'll put the guys in the matches, but obviously the game will decide what happens. The game will decide everyone's fate. Like I say, we've got a 6-man battle royal this evening to become the #1 contender for Hideo Itami's NXT Championship. That could be any of those 6 guys picking up the victory. And I think either way, no matter who wins that, it's going to be a fantastic main event at NXT Arrival. Really looking forward to that. Now, that's going to be in a couple of weeks' time. What was I going to say? Yeah, I think I mentioned it in a few of my episodes before. I do have a friend of mine coming up to visit me in a couple of weeks' time. So I think we're going to be able to do a bit of dual commentary in a few episodes. Now, I think that's going to be really good. I think having dual commentary is going to really help me out with just making these episodes a little bit more interesting for you guys. We can have a bit more of a discussion. The friend who's coming is an absolute wrestling encyclopedia. He knows everything about everyone. And I think you guys will learn quite a lot, as well as enjoying the episodes as well. Honestly, the stuff he knows about wrestling it's borderline sad, to tell the truth, the amount he knows, but there you go. So we're going to try and get as many episodes as we can recorded that weekend, and then obviously try and edit and upload them over the week as well. So that's going to be pretty good. Neville with that reverse Hurricanrana there on Rhyno. And this has been an outstanding first match to our NXT roster. Neville with the pin now. 1, 2. Oh, so close. On the verge of a free count. The referee, you can see, says his hand was an inch away from the mat before Rhino's shoulder came up. Neville, you need to hit a red arrow, man. You need to hit that red arrow. Neville with the ace crusher. Rhyno looks down and out. Can Neville capitalise on the damage done? He goes up top. Maybe we're going to see this red arrow. So great to see this year that the AI is not afraid to go for top rope finishes anymore. Because, oh no, the shooting star press. Didn't go for the red arrow, just went the shooting star press. And you see Neville struggling now. This has been a long match. He's starting to struggle for energy. Now going back up to the top after that shooting star press. Maybe we are going to see a red arrow here. No, it's a moonsault. We see a shooting star press. Now a moonsault. Is that enough for Neville? 1, 2. No, again. Rhyno kicks out. And the one thing that will be interesting we can look at after this match, actually, is I was looked through at the end of our episode of WWE. There's the big gore by Rhyno. That could be all. And that could completely make what I was about to say completely mute. Neville looks to be down and out here. 1, 2, and 3. Rhyno picks up the victory. And what I was about to say is not going to happen now. What I was going to say is that there was a few of the status effects, such as momentum, that only come into effect when you pick up 2 victories in a row. You get a momentum boost. Neville picked up a victory on Monday Night Raw. If he picked up a victory here against Rhyno as well, that would have been his 2 victories, but would that have counted across 2 different brands? That would have been the interesting thing we could have looked at, but of course, we're not going to get a chance now as Rhyno defeats Neville. And that's going to really help Rhyno in the championship rankings. Like I said, he's going to get a little boost up here. I'm not quite sure. It's going to be so difficult to get a championship match here on NXT. I'm thinking we might have to sort of utilise some of the bigger matches, such as triple threats and fatal 4-ways and all that sort of thing, just to try and get all these guys. We're saying that we're going to have a long time. We're going to have a lot of chances here on NXT. It's not going to be like last year where I only started in February and March time, and I really tried to crush in as much as I possibly could in the time we had. This year we're going to be going until all the way through to 2K17, so we've got a lot of time to spread things around, and I think everyone will get their chance eventually. Like I said, there's only 6 pay-per-views for NXT, but there's going to be a lot more involved that is not going to be on the calendar. We're going to have our top prospect tournaments and the female version of the top prospect tournament. We're going to have an indie invitational where the NXT guys will issue open challenges and anyone can come and cash those in. So there's going to be a lot more NXT episodes than what is currently promised. So yeah, be sure to keep an eye out for that one. And of course subscribe if you're not already, because all of those will be coming very, very soon. And here is match number 2. It's Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, the tag team champions, taking on Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy in an elimination tag match. Now, as you can probably see there, if you ever watched my NXT Tag Team Championship tournament, you would have seen that I've actually changed the Chad Gable and Jason Jordan. I think the Chad Gable is fantastic. It looks absolutely stunning. It looks more real than some of the guys on the actual roster that came with the game. And of course, Jason Jordan's pretty good as well. And of course, I think they've got matching attire, which I think is going to, again, help it look a lot better in the actual game. And here we go. And like I said, this is going to be an elimination match. So it's interesting to see the way the game books the cards. I tell you what, they've actually booked some really good matches so far. I think on our first episode of Monday Night Raw, out of the 7 matches, I think only changed 1 or 2. They were really good cards the game likes to book, and this one is no different. They actually booked a very good card, but I had in mind this evening already what I wanted to do. Like I said, I really want to make sure that our first episodes of all of these Universe Mode brands is going to be a big one that you guys can really relate to and really get excited for the future of this Universe Mode. I think Monday Night Raw was a fantastic episode. I think Global Force was not quite on par with Monday Night Raw, but it was still pretty good. And so far, NXT started off fantastically, and I hope that throughout the evening it can just get better and better. Of course, if you haven't seen it, Monday Night Raw was actually an hour and 45 minutes long. That was immense. The game, like I said, the match quality on this game is a hell of a lot better, and that has led to the matches being longer, which of course leads to the matches being the actual event itself being longer. So that's interesting. Like I said, at the moment I'm sort of dabbling between changing the momentum up for some matches to a high momentum and keeping it on medium for some matches. When we get to pay-per-views, of course, everything will be on medium, but I think for some of the bigger matches, maybe for the championship matches, we might actually drop the momentum down to slow, just to make the matches feel a lot longer, a lot more epic and things like that. For example, if we have a match like one that I remember distinctly was Austin versus The Rock at WrestleMania. That was a really epic match. It lasted a very long time. That's the sort of match we put down to slow, because we want that match to last as long as possible. If we can get 15-20 minutes out of a match like that, we're going to be very happy. As Jason Jordan dominating Enzo Amore here. And of course, a win here for Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy would really boost them up the tag team rankings as well. Of course, there's a lot of great teams here. I think we've got 9 or 10 teams in NXT at the moment. And of course, we're looking for... Oh, I always get these... Is it Dawson and Wilder? Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson. We're looking for them at the moment. I found a pretty good looking one on the... I don't mean that in a looks wise. I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. I found one that looks pretty accurate on the community creations, but it's got no moveset and no entrance. So I've sort of left it for now, in the theory that over the next few weeks they'll get all that sorted and we can get them downloaded and brought in. Of course, when the DLC comes out, we will also gain Blake and Murphy, which is pretty good. They're not exactly the world's greatest tag team, but at the same time they're they're pretty good. It's been pretty interesting to see them in the universe mode. And since they're Australian, I know in NXT they've got them linked up with Alexa Bliss at the moment, but since they're Australian, I think it'd be more suited to link them up with Emma, I think. I don't know what you guys think, but I just think Emma suits Blake and Murphy a bit better, especially with their sort of drum and bass style music, and they like to do a few like over-exaggerated moves and that sort of thing, dance their way to their own music. If you brought someone like Emma in, I think it would work pretty well. So yeah, I think that's what we probably should. I don't know. We do have Alexa Bliss on this roster. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think we should stick the Vaudevillains? Not the Vaudevillains. Do you think we should stick Blake and Murphy with Alexa Bliss like they have in real NXT, or do you think somebody like Emma, who is Australian as well, so it's a full Australian stable, would make more sense? Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm thinking of getting Carmella. There was a pretty decent Carmella on there the other day as well. I think if we do get Carmella, then we might have her for a bit, so we can do Colin Cassidy, Enzo Amore, and Carmella versus Blake Murphy and either Alexa Bliss or Emma, like we said. I think that's going to be a pretty good one. That should, yeah, pretty good sort of feud we can do between us. Chad Gable, that great arm breaker. You know what, I'd heard a lot about Chad Gable before he made his sort of debut in NXT. But I tell you what, he was just, since I've seen him on NXT, he's so funny is one of the main things. He's got a presence about him that I think is really going to work well in the WWE, and I really like Gable and Jordan, and I think they are the closest thing to the world's greatest tag team, and somebody has actually suggested that as a random match. Let me have a quick look. It was Reggie Robinson. You suggested the world's greatest tag team, but Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas taking on Chad Gable and Jason Jordan. I really like that idea, and I think if I get time today, I'm going to try and record that and get it uploaded as our random match. That'd be pretty good. It's only a 2 count there. Gable kicking out from Big Cass there. Remember, this is an elimination match, so both members of the team have to be pinned or submit to win the match. Big knee to the head there by Colin Cassidy. Enzo Amore taking Jason Jordan out of the equation. Colin Cassidy with a big sidewalk slam, and this could be a huge win here for Enzo and Cass if they could do it. Like I said, we haven't got anyone planned in as of yet to face Jordan and Gable for the Tag Team Championships at TakeOver Arrival, but oh my word, this could be possible though, as Chad Gable is eliminated. Now it's Big Cass and Enzo Amore versus Jason Jordan on his own. And I tell you what, if Enzo and Cass pick up the victory here, then we have guaranteed #1 contenders for those Tag Team Championships and a match at our TakeOver Arrival event. And what a great match it would be as well. And you've got to love Enzo's beard. That is a pretty cool beard. Big boot there by Colin Cassidy on Jason Jordan too. And Jordan manages to kick out. How long is Jordan going to last here? 2-on-1 situation against a very good tag team in the shape of Colin Cassidy and Enzo Amore. Big Cass now sending Jordan into the corner. Are we going to see a big finish here? It looks like we may. No, I thought they might go for that big splash, but they're going something else. Double shoulder block there by Enzo and Cass. And Enzo going in for the pin. 1, 2. It's only a 2 count. And one thing I would love to see, and I don't know if you guys feel the same, but I would love to see Enzo Amore get a run with our NXT Television Championship at some point. I don't quite think he's at the right level to go for the NXT Championship, but like I said, the NXT TV Championship, I think he can definitely really go for. And I think we could probably do it, especially with Colin Cassidy at ringside as a manager, would really help him out as well. Enzo launching the face of Jason Jordan into the mat. Rolls him over now. Enzo going up top once again. He changed his mind the first time as Jason Jordan got up. Now, has he got what he needs? Oh, went for the big splash, but Jordan rolled out the way. Enzo crashed and burned face first on the mat. Sends Jordan off this near side rope, and Jordan catches him. Jordan now throwing Enzo Amore into that corner. Jordan with a Northern Lights suplex. It's going to be difficult for Jason Jordan now, because if he goes for a pin, he knows that Cassidy will come in and break it up. He needs to try and take Cassidy out of the equation. There is the belly-to-belly slam. That's how they won the Tag Team Championships at the tournament earlier on in the Universe mode. There's an angle slam there by Jason Jordan on Enzo Amore. And he's taunted away. Maybe he should go for the pin here. He doesn't. He brings Enzo Amore back up to his feet. And surely the damage done by Jordan, he should be going for a pin. But he's picking up a head of steam. Harnessing the powers of John Cena there. And again, bringing Enzo back up to his... Why is Jordan not going for the pin? Is he showing off here? I'm not quite sure. T-bone suplex. Going for the pin now on Enzo. 1. No, Enzo Amore, very clever. Grabs a hold of the bottom rope. Referee sees it straight away. Referee doesn't always see it though. But this time he has. And Enzo Amore stays in this match. But Jason Jordan is dominating Enzo. How long can Enzo last? He needs to make a tag desperately out to Big Cass. Another angle slam there by Jason Jordan on Enzo Amore. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2, and there's Big Cass. Like I said, to break up the pin, it's going to be very, very difficult for Jason Jordan on his own here. Jordan throwing Enzo into this corner. And you'd think if Chad Gable was here, then you'd think this would only be a matter of time. Gable could come in and block off Colin Cassidy, but that's just not the case. Jordan is all alone as Chad Gable got eliminated by Big Cass earlier on. Enzo now throwing Jordan into the corner. Are they going to go for a bit of role reversal? It looks like they are. Boom. Colin Cassidy with a big splash on Jason Jordan. In for the pin he goes. 1, 2, and 3. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just guaranteed ourselves a championship match here at NXT TakeOver Arrival. We're going to have Jason Jordan and Chad Gable defending their NXT Tag Team Championships against Colin Cassidy and Enzo Amore. What a great match that is going to be. I'm looking forward to that. I didn't realise that we're going to have the opportunity here to crown #1 contenders. I don't know why. Look at the card. I just thought that Jordan and Gable would win this one. They dominated that Tag Team Championship tournament earlier on in our Universe mode. And I really thought they'd do the same here against Gable and Jordan. Just see some of the highlights here. Cassidy here with Gable on the top rope, and Gable struggled. He was knocked out very early on. I think Jordan did manage to last a good sort of 5-10 minutes without Gable, but it became too much in the 2-on-1 situation really for him. There was a pin by Cassidy earlier on. And here you go. This is the big finish. You see Enzo, bit of role reversal. Normally this is done the other way around, but Enzo helping Big Cass with a big splash on Jason Jordan. Referee down with a 3 count. And like I said, Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy defeat the tag team champions. And like I said, for me, that has got to guarantee us a championship match at NXT TakeOver Arrival. That is going to happen. What a great match that's going to be. I think next week we should maybe split it up a little bit. Maybe do Colin Cassidy versus Jason Jordan and have Chad Gable and Enzo Amore at ringside. That's what we can definitely do. Yeah, what a great match. And we know now one of our pay-per-view matches as well. And here is our next match here this evening. It's Nia Jax versus Asuka versus Charlotte versus Sasha Banks to become the #1 contender for Bayley's NXT Women's Championship and get a match. And here we go. This is the #1 contendership match for the NXT Women's Championship. One of these ladies will face off against Bayley at NXT TakeOver Arrival in 2 weeks or 3 weeks? 2.5 weeks time, technically. And I've said in a few of my videos before, I really like the way this year they've done the Fatal 4-Way sort of mechanic in the game, because as you can see, every single Fatal 4-Way now, you split off. And you have 2 people stay in the ring and 2 go on the outside. And it's good because it means that the ending's a bit more realistic, but at the same time, it's not fantastic because you sort of know the 2 people on the outside of the ring have got a lot less chance of winning the match, really. So you have to keep an eye on it that way. I'm sorry, I'm out of breath. I don't know why. I've just answered the door and had a conversation. Now, for some reason, I'm completely out of breath. The door is about 10 metres away from where I'm sat. I think that means I'm unfit, but you know. I could go to the gym, or I could record some more episodes for you guys. So I've gone for the episodes. It is bloody horrible outside. So I've got wind and rain and all sorts crashing against my front window. Now, I know you guys, a lot of you people that watch my video, you seem to enjoy the Divas a lot more than anything else. All the random matches I've uploaded, it's the Divas matches that have got the most views. I think it was Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax, and Sasha Banks versus Asuka, and Sasha Banks versus Bayley. Those are the 3 matches that I've uploaded so far in the random match series that have got the most views. I think Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax has got over 2,000 views, and that's incredible for me. In the first sort of 2 or 3 weeks of being uploaded, just incredible for that to be the way it is. And I really thank you guys for all your support since the release of 2K16. I've seen a lot more views, a lot more subscribers, and of course a lot more interaction as well, a lot more comments. And if you do have any comments on these videos, don't hesitate. Be sure to write them down in the comment section below. I do reply to them all. So as long as you're not dodgy, yeah, you know what I mean. If you've got Google Plus, if you're commenting through Google Plus rather than YouTube, sometimes there's a sort of bug where I can't reply, and I think it's something to do with the settings on your account where you've disabled reply. So yeah, if you are commenting from Google Plus, just be aware of that sometimes I might not be able to reply to you. But Sasha Banks has got a sledgehammer. Remember, Fatal 4-Way does mean no disqualifications, as now we're back in the ring with all 4 girls. Nia Jax sending Asuka right into Charlotte, and as you can see, everyone's just itching to get back up the ring, and it's going to be Charlotte and Sasha Banks, but Asuka there just hit a Hurricanrana, and I'm pretty sure Nia Jax's head landed on that sledgehammer. I'm not quite sure if Asuka did that on purpose or if that was just luck of the draw for her, but it's definitely going to have an effect on Nia Jax. Asuka bringing Nia Jax back up to her feet, sending it into that corner. And it's going to be interesting because I think all these 4 ladies are rated more or less the same in this universe mode. I think one is slightly ahead of the other. I think I'm not going to tell you who's who, but I think we've got an 85, 2 84s, and an 83. These are definitely the 4 strongest women on our NXT roster. I did want to have Becky Lynch involved in this as well, but since of course she is the women's champion on our current day roster, I've sort of kept her out of this one. I'm not a big fan of having double champions in a universe mode, mainly because it gets a bit messy with defending both belts. Big clothesline there by Nia Jax, but I don't think she quite got it all. Oh, maybe now the dynamic in the match has changed a little bit as all 4 women are back in the ring. Who is going to be the ones to go to the outside? You know what, I would be interested to see Sasha Banks versus Bayley, just to go along with real life occurrences to what normally happens. And I think if we do see Sasha Banks versus Bayley, we may even change that match slightly to a different type, as Asuka has Sasha Banks up, and what is she going for here? No way, she's going to do, I think she is, big superplex to the outside. Sasha Banks crashes to the ground below, and that is going to do some serious damage as all 4 girls are now on the outside of the ring. Charlotte launching Nia Jax into the edge of the ring, and what a match this has been so far, and I can't wait to see who it's going to be to go up against Bayley at TakeOver NXT Arrival in a couple of weeks' time. Asuka has a sledgehammer, but Sasha Banks takes it away from her. Straight to the stomach of Asuka. Asuka launched into the corner. Sasha just surveying the situation. As you can see, Sasha's not walking too easily. She's taken a lot of damage herself at the hands of Asuka with that big superplex. And now what has Charlotte got in mind here? Charlotte is up on top. Big elbow drop to the outside, and Sasha Banks with a big head scissors takedown off the top rope as well. What an incredible couple of seconds there. Sasha with a pin. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count. Asuka kicked out. That could have been impressive there. Drop kick to the back of the head. All 4 of these girls now back in the ring. Who is going to walk out this one? The #1 contender for Bayley's NXT Women's Championship. Nia Jax takes Charlotte up, and there's the big chokeslam. Nia Jax with a pin. And Asuka and Sasha Banks were not paying attention as Nia Jax has picked up the victory. Not the best finish we could have had, but don't get me wrong, it's very effective. We're going to see Nia Jax versus Bayley for the NXT Women's Championship at NXT TakeOver Arrival. It's interesting. Nia Jax is going to get a championship opportunity here in our universe mode before she does in real life as well. And this is that big superplex here. You can see by Asuka to Sasha Banks to the outside. Sasha's poor back is going to be destroyed there. And maybe we can build off of this sort of match here. You saw Sasha and Asuka both pull off some absolutely fantastic moves. And maybe we could have a second women's champion. To see Charlotte in the background there, just disappearing off the edge of the ring. Maybe we can have maybe Sasha Banks versus Asuka as just a singles match at NXT TakeOver Arrival. Maybe that could be the #1 contendership match for the women's championship. That's definitely something we can definitely do. I like that idea. I've had some more ideas though in my head now. I might have to think these through before next episode, but how about the possibility of next week having 2 women's matches? The 2 winners will go on to NXT TakeOver Arrival to fight out for the #1 contendership for the NXT Women's Championship. That would mean we'll have 2 big women's matches at our NXT TakeOver Arrival pay-per-view, as Nia Jax with a very exuberant celebration there by herself. Not the sort of person we'd expect with this sort of celebration. Maybe I might have to have a look at that, you know. Well, saying that, it's her first opportunity to go for the Women's Championship in NXT. She's going to be excited. Great win for Nia Jax. Like I said, Nia Jax versus Bayley for the NXT Women's Championship in 2.5 weeks' time at NXT TakeOver Arrival. And our next match here this evening is going to be our NXT champion Hideo Itami taking on Bo Dallas. And here we go. Can Hideo Itami... Oh, you see Bo Dallas just baiting Hideo to the outside. It's not quite worked for Bo though, as Hideo straight with that Saito suplex. That is going to be painful. Referee's up to a 3 count now as these 2 guys still continue to fight on the outside. What would happen here if Bo Dallas was to win? That's an interesting one. If Bo Dallas was to beat the NXT champion here, of course our main event here this evening is going to be our NXT #1 contendership match with Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Apollo Crews and Cesaro. So if Bo Dallas was to defeat the NXT champion here, you know what, he'd have to be considered, he really would. Maybe if Bo Dallas was to win here this evening, we might have to make that match at NXT TakeOver Arrival a triple threat match. That's definitely a possibility. But there you go, this is all if, buts and whens. There's no guarantee that Bo Dallas is going to win. And there's not a lot of likelihood that... Bo Dallas is a decent enough wrestler in NXT, but I don't think he's quite on the same level as Hideo Itami, really. I've been distracted because my phone's buzzing. God, the world's a fucking terrible place now, isn't it? Great move there by Hideo Itami, rolling Bo Dallas over. And now there's an armbar by Hideo Itami. And there's a lot of different styles that Hideo could be pit up against at our NXT TakeOver Arrival events. We've got the big strength of sort of Baron Corbin. We've got the evil mean streak of Kevin Owens. Again, the strength of Cesaro. You've got the strength and athletic ability of Apollo Crews. You've got the athletic ability and springboard prowess of Sami Zayn. And then, of course, you've got just the all-round ability of Finn Balor. He can do absolutely everything, Finn Balor. Great sort of fisherman's buster there by Hideo Itami on Bo Dallas. Bo with a trip on Hideo. And I don't know about you guys, but so far this has been a great episode. A fantastic way to start our NXT Universe mode. It really does excite me, the fact that we're going to go further on. And I don't mean excite me in a dodgy way, honestly. But yeah, we're gonna go forward with this for quite a while. Like I said, we're gonna have some special NXT episodes coming for you at some point. Top Prospect Tournament is definitely something that I think we're gonna go ahead with. That sounds like a great idea. We'd have it's essentially, we probably won't do that for a while because it's going to be a knockout tournament, just like we did with the NXT Championship. And I don't want to have too many tournaments too close to each other on any of the playlists. Tournaments are something we might see a lot more of this year. I think the current day roster will have a they'll have a whatchamacallit. they will have a King of the Ring tournament. As will the Attitude Era have a King of the Ring tournament. So that's 2 tournaments there. Queen of the Ring for the current day roster, of course, top prospect here for NXT. The female top prospect as well for NXT. We'll have a lot more tournaments everywhere, really. Battle of Los Angeles as well is going to be a great one for of course, Ring of Honor. Hideo Itami, they're throwing Bo Dallas into that corner. Big boot to summit by Itami. Into the corner with that big hesitation dropkick. Bo Dallas rolls away. And Itami could really do with a victory here just to help build some more momentum going forward into our first pay-per-view. Of course, early days in the Universe mode, momentum is not easy to come by. And you'll see a lot of championships change hands early on. And then the later it gets into the Universe mode, I think it'll become a lot more stable. Championships will be held for a bit longer. And of course, championship changing hands is going to be a lot more special later on. We have already now had 2 championship matches in our Universe mode. One was successfully defended and one was a championship change. And of course we've got another big championship match coming up for you here this evening. It's our next match. It's going to be Solomon Crowe defending that championship against Tyler Breeze, who will be accompanied to the ring by Summer Rae. Hurricane Rana there by Hideo Itami. I think this match is starting to take it out of Hideo a little bit. You saw he was a little bit slower back to his feet that time than he has been at most points of this match. Drop kick to the side of the head by Itami. Now stamping on the back of the arm of Bo Dallas. Aggressive move, but effective nonetheless. Itami now launching Bo Dallas into that corner face first. And a big elbow across the back as well. And a boot to the back and just chopping Bo Dallas down. Hideo with a stomp to the knee of Bo Dallas, and then the other one as well. Really just working down every single body part is Hideo. Brings Bo Dallas back up to his feet and now spins him around. And a clubbing blow across the back. Sends him down that belly to back slam. Can Bo Dallas really capitalise on that? He goes to the pin, but surely that's not going to be enough to keep the NXT champion Hideo Itami down, and it is not. Hideo Itami, that great running kick to the face, and that could be all here for Bo Dallas. 1, 2, and 3. There you go, our NXT champion Hideo Itami victorious here over Bo Dallas. And like I said, Bo Dallas is going to be someone we see a bit more of in this Universe mode. He's, of course, working NXT alongside the current day roster, so he's going to be involved. We do have some potential ideas for him in the future. Some that I'm very excited about and I really want to bring into effect. Not too soon, but it's going to be soon. Be something that I think you guys would really enjoy. It's going to be quite a long storyline. But yeah, I think it's really going to be worth it in the long run. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. That's going to be on the current day roster of WWE. But of course, Bo Dallas will still be heavily involved down here in NXT as well. I think probably more in the television championship side of things, maybe even the tag team championship side of things. We'll have to see what happens with these potential partners and things like that we could bring in. Big right hand there by Hideo Itami, and that was that springboard dropkick. And there was a big running knee by Itami. That's what finished it off. And you see the little glitchy spin there. But Hideo Itami was enough to pick up the victory here this evening. He sent a statement here to all of the guys that are going to be in our main event later on this evening. He knows he's the NXT champion, and he knows that he can defeat any of these guys in the main event. And that's just what he's trying to prove here and now. He has already defeated quite a few of these guys in the main event at our NXT Championship tournament. But things might be different on a level playing field. No matches before, no matches after at our NXT TakeOver event. And here is our next match here this evening. It's going to be our first ever championship match here in NXT. It's the NXT Television Championship as Solomon Crowe defends against Tyler Breeze. And here we go. And like I said before, because this is a championship match, we're going to have our entrances as well. As you see Lillian Garcia in the ring. Is she actually saying anything? No, she's not. We've turned it all off. But what she's essentially saying is the following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the NXT Television Championship. As we see the entrance here of our current NXT Television Champion, I believe. There he is. There is Solomon Crowe. Of course, the reason for this match is because he picked up a little bit of extra advantage, can I say. Basically, he got to the final pretty fairly, but of course, in the actual final itself, he did have his feet up on the ropes for the pinfall that mattered. The pinfall that won him that belt against Tyler Breeze in the final. So this evening, Mr. William Regal has given the opportunity to Tyler Breeze to fight it out for that championship. SAWFT Swaft. Thank you for Tony to point me out what that actually is. It was Tony, wasn't it? Let me check. It was Tony. Yeah, thanks to Tony for letting me know what that was. It was doing my head in the fact that everyone had that entrance and I couldn't figure out what it was, but Tony pointed out that it is actually Colin Cassidy's entrance. And talking of big entrances, here we see the entrance of Tyler Breeze. There he is. The Prince of Pretty, Tyler Breeze, with Summer Rae in hand. Will Tyler Breeze be able to walk out of here this evening with the NXT Television Championship? It's a possibility with Summer Rae at ringside for him. It could be a helpful advantage. But will he be able to contain himself? We know he's quite an aggressive guy. And in some cases he can lose his head a bit. Has a streak of arrogance about him as well, and that could always cost him. You never know in these sort of situations. I don't quite understand why that's happening. Okay. Now, will Tyler Breeze be able to defeat Solomon Crowe for this NXT Television Championship? Is definitely a possibility. And there it is. That's what they're fighting for, the NXT Television Championship. Of course, if you don't know, this is a mid-card championship we managed to download from the community creations, as I've completely not realised that to come up. There we go. Yeah, it's a championship that we downloaded from the community creations, and it was one that I wanted to have because I just feel that with the size of the roster we have, it would make more sense to really have something else for them to fight for, rather than everyone trying to pile in for the NXT Championship or the Tag Team Championships or something along them sort of lines. It does really help us out by having this as well. And there's also the possibility that we may even be able to have maybe the WWE Tag Team Championships defended at some point on NXT. Remember, our current Tag Team Champions are the Ascension. If somebody like Cesaro and Tyson Kidd or someone of those sort of lines who does work for both rosters get the opportunity at the Tag Team Championships, there's no reason why they could not be defended at NXT TakeOver. Like I said earlier on, we do have a lot of championships on the go on the current day roster of WWE so far, so there's no reason why we couldn't have the likes of the Cruiserweight Championship, the Tag Team Championship, even the Women's Championship being defended on NXT television. Of course, NXT matches are going to happen on WWE at some point in time as well. Like I said, some of the bigger pay-per-views like Survivor Series, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, they will definitely have NXT influences into them. I'm really looking forward to Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble is not something we managed to get to last year, and it's a long way away on this year's as well, but it's 9 months away on this game. And I really want to get there, but of course it's going to be difficult because the videos are taking a lot longer to record and edit and upload this year, so I don't know how easy it's going to be for me to become actually not so much up to date, but ahead of myself enough to be able to catch up with the current day roster. We will get to Royal Rumble, but it probably won't be until the sort of time of WrestleMania next year. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. I'd like to try and catch up with WWE. I know that's not going to be necessarily possible, but I'd like to be able to catch up and run the same sort of pay-per-views on the same months that they are, and do it that way. But it's going to be difficult because we are now... Of course, this game starts you off in May, is it? Yeah, this game starts you off in May, which is month number 4 of the year. And of course, it's now currently November. So we'd have to catch up 7 months to get up to date. So it's not going to happen, is it really? Let's face it. I'm sorry to be pessimistic, but I'm not going to be able to catch up 7 months. I've just realised how long that is. If I do obviously get ahead of myself, I will upload a full week's worth of episodes for you. Probably over a weekend. Either that or I might upload just 2 episodes each day of the same brand, just to really give it as much as I possibly can. But like I said, it's going to be more difficult this year with the length of the rosters and the lengths of the shows. Like I say, our first episode of WWE lasted nearly 2 hours. Well, I was recording for about 2.5 hours. I was recording for, and then obviously I had to transfer the file onto my editing computer, which took a long time. Then I had to do all the editing, which took a long time, and then I had to obviously get it uploaded. So it's going to be a lot more difficult and a lot slower this year, I'm afraid. I don't think we'll be able to catch up too much. Last year I could knock out a full week's worth of episodes in a day, but this year it's not going to be that way. I think that's better because I really want to give you guys quality over quantity anyway. I don't really want to rush and put too much out. Like I said, we will get to Royal Rumble, we will get to WrestleMania, but those times will come. It's not going to happen. We're not going to catch up that much before Christmas or anything like that. I am off all the week over Christmas, so I might be able to get maybe a week or two ahead of myself then maybe, but we're not going to catch up 7 months, I don't think. And like I said earlier on, I want to start catching up and really getting some more random matches online for you guys and get some career mode, some showcases, as well as some other games as well. Currently, I'm uploading Fallout 4, which I'm really enjoying Fallout 4, but I've not played it in about 5 or 6 days because I've been solely concentrating on getting all these championship tournaments and getting this universe mode sorted, which was obviously my main priority. As you see, Summer Rae having an effect there, distracting Solomon Crowe and allowing Tyler Breeze to gain the advantage in this match. And remember, this is for the NXT Television Championship. We could have our very first title change on our very first episode of NXT. As Tyler Breeze slips out of that attempted crucifix powerbomb there. Breeze went for the super kick. Solomon Crowe avoids it and hits Breeze with the backstabber. And now again, Summer Rae up on the apron, distracting Solomon Crowe. And Crowe is struggling here. Summer Rae is just really having an effect on Solomon Crowe. He's getting distracted over and over again, and I really think that he's struggling. He really is. What on earth was that just drove past? There was sirens, but it wasn't the shape of a police car, an ambulance, or anything like that. It looked a bit like the Ghostbusters. Solomon Crowe there with a close over the top rope. He's going to go for a dive. It looks like he is. Oh, but he misses and lands hard on the outside. And we get a nice little replay of that crash and burn there by Solomon Crowe. But that high-risk maneuver could cost Crowe the match here, you know. There's a lot of damage to himself. Tyler Breeze looks to capitalise on the damage done by Crowe. There's a couple of knee drops. Referee's count going up to a 3 count now, is it? Yeah, it is a 3 count. Jawbreaker by Solomon Crowe. Maybe he's not down and out in this match, you know. Crowe taking Breeze up. Oh, there's a sit-out powerbomb. Thought he might have been trying to powerbomb him through the announce table there for a second. You see Summer Rae trying to get Solomon Crowe's attention and distract him. Tyler's up on his feet, but he looks a bit dazed and confused. Referee up to a 7, but Breeze is now back in the ring. As is Summer Rae. Summer Rae doing the ring there. She makes her way back out quickly, but again, it just took Solomon Crowe's attention there for a split second. And now Crowe with that head scissors, but Breeze rolls him over and manages to slide out the back. Solomon Crowe takes Breeze up. Alabama slam there by Solomon Crowe on Tyler Breeze. Now Crowe As Breeze lined up, and there's a big clothesline. Another big clothesline, and looks like Solomon Crow's building up a head of steam here. There's the power slam. But again, Summer Rae gets Solomon Crow's attention. Tyler Breeze creeps up behind Crowe and catches him in that electric chair. Interesting, this one, of course. Remember what I said earlier on? Solomon Crowe picked up the victory at the NXT Television Championship tournament by using the ropes to his advantage, and now it looks like Tyler Breeze is doing very well here, but he's using Summer Rae to his advantage. And as you can see, again, Solomon Crowe distracted by Summer Rae, and again, Tyler Breeze back up to his feet and taking advantage of the situation. There's a Saito suplex on Solomon Crowe. Breeze now brings Crowe back up to his feet. Went for that super kick again, but Crowe avoids it again. But this time Tyler slides out and a boot to the back of Solomon Crowe. There's a backdrop as well. Breeze is stamping on the back of Solomon Crowe now, bringing him back up to his feet. What does he have planned here? Northern Light suplex, bridges for the pin. 1, 2, 3. That's it. That is it. We got a brand new television champion here on NXT. It's Tyler Breeze. Well done to Tyler, and I can see a rematch coming here. Solomon Crow's not going to be happy with that. Of course, like I said, he took the advantage of the NXT Television Championship tournament. He had his feet on the middle of the ropes, gained the extra elevation needed to pick up the 3 count over Tyler Breeze. But this evening, Tyler Breeze really used the Summer Rae effect to his advantage. This is a very, very interesting one, this. I dare say we're going to have a rematch for this at NXT TakeOver Arrival. Solomon Crowe, Tyler Breeze. But again, what sort of effect is Summer Rae going to have on the whole match? That's the problem. You can see her there distracting Solomon Crowe after he hit a big impactful move. And Tyler Breeze able to creep up behind Solomon Crowe and catch him in that electric chair drop. And that happened various times towards the end of the match. And that really helped Tyler Breeze come to this sort of eventual win. Let's see, was this the finale? It is. There you go, pulling Solomon Crowe into the ring and hits that Northern Light suplex. And that's one of the things I really like about this game, is that last year he would have just hit the Northern Light suplex and Solomon Crowe would have got the rope break. But this year they've used a little bit of AI and he brings him into the middle of the ring to start with so that he's nowhere near the ropes. And there you see Tyler Breeze, championship in hand, and finally Tyler Breeze holds gold here in NXT. He is the NXT Television Champion, defeating Solomon Crowe here this evening. Like I said, I'm pretty sure there'll be a rematch at NXT TakeOver Arrival, but for the moment at least, Tyler Breeze is the NXT Television Champion. And here is our main event here this evening. It's going to be the 6-man over-the-top rope battle royal to become the #1 contender for the NXT Heavyweight Championship. It's Baron Corbin, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Apollo Crews, Finn Balor, and Cesaro. And here we go. Which one of these 6 men will go on to face Hideo Itami at NXT TakeOver Arrival? Like I said, this first pay-per-view is going to be a bit more difficult than normal because we've only got 3 weeks. The game doesn't allow feuds to happen, which is a little bit annoying. But so we're going to have to build up all of our own feuds to first pay-per-view ourselves, which is not too bad. Like I say, we've got Tyler Breeze versus Solomon Crowe going for the NXT Television Championship. We now know it's going to be Nia Jax versus Bayley for the NXT Women's Championship. Enzo and Colin Cassidy is going to get a Tag Team Championship match at NXT TakeOver Arrival. Already that's 3 matches confirmed. We know the winner of this match, as Kevin Owens has been eliminated so early on there by Baron Corbin. Wow, Baron Corbin with a quick elimination. Yeah, like I said, we know the winner of this match is going to go on to face Hideo Itami at TakeOver Arrival as well for the NXT Championship. And like I said, we are going to have Neville defending his Cruiserweight Championship at NXT TakeOver Arrival as well. So a lot of big things are going to happen at NXT TakeOver Arrival. As Sami Zayn skinning the cat there to come back into this one. And let's see, Baron Corbin and Sami Zayn working together to eliminate Finn Balor. Is it going to be possible? No, Finn Balor fights away from it all. As Apollo Crews gets back into the ring as well after Cesaro tried to eliminate him. And I think, like I said before, no matter who wins this match, it's going to be a cracking main event. It really is. Kevin Owens eliminated very early on by Baron Corbin. And that could be something we really capitalise on next week, maybe. If Corbin is unable to make this, make it all the way through this match, then maybe Owens versus Corbin is something we could work towards at our first pay-per-view. Again, as a feud. Sami Zayn up on top. Big splash there on Cesaro. Big scoop slam, sit-out scoop slam there by Finn Balor. Jawbreaker by Sami Zayn. Now Cesaro with a German suplex as well. Back elbows by Baron Corbin on Apollo Crews. Balor's gone up top, but I think Cesaro pulled Sami Zayn away. Balor was lining him up maybe for the coup de grace. German suplex there by Finn Balor on Sami Zayn as Baron Corbin looking to try and eliminate another one. Of course, he's already eliminated Kevin Owens, but Apollo Crews is back in the ring. Safe and sound. Saito's suplex, and then Finn Balor went for an elbow drop, and I think he bounced off the ropes back into the ring. Not great there by Finn Balor, but he's still in this match at least. More than can be said for Kevin Owens, like I said. Big Saito suplex there by Baron Corbin. Finn Balor sending Sami Zayn over the top rope. But Cesaro, the German suplex on Finn Balor, almost saving Sami Zayn by mistake there as well. Cesaro with this twist in the neck of Finn Balor. Big drop kick by Sami Zayn. And a punch to the back of Baron Corbin as well. See Apollo Crews just sort of taking the middle ground here in the middle of the ring. Just allowing everyone else to do damage to each other. Oh, double punches there by Corbin and Apollo Crews on Sami Zayn. And I'm surprised Kevin Owens got eliminated so quickly. Oh, great strength there by Apollo Crews, rolling through on Baron Corbin, then bringing him back up for that powerbomb. Over the top rope goes Sami Zayn from Cesaro. Sami Zayn is almost gone. Sami Zayn is gone. We're down to our final four. Cesaro waves goodbye to Sami Zayn. And we now know it's going to be Cesaro, Corbin, Crews, or Finn Balor. Who's going on to face off against Hideo Itami for the NXT Championship? Cesaro with a massive uppercut on Baron Corbin. And there goes Apollo Crews as well. We are down to our final three. Cesaro, I've turned into Arnold Schwarzenegger. We're going to have, it's either Cesaro, Baron Corbin, or Finn Balor. Balor now with that dragon screw on Cesaro. Over the top with a cutter. There's no way more sirens are going past. What is going on outside my flat? It's going mental. Finn Balor fighting Baron Corbin away. Brings him back up to his feet and sends him into that turnbuckle. And Cesaro sending Baron Corbin out of this match. We are down to our final two. It's either Cesaro or Finn Balor who is going on to face Hideo Itami at NXT TakeOver Arrival. Finn Balor skinning the cat. Back into the ring he comes. Now sending Cesaro into that corner. Finn Balor trying his best to try and launch Cesaro over the top, but Cesaro with a back elbow. Now Cesaro sending Finn Balor over the top rope. Both these guys wrestling across the ropes. Who is it going to be? Can Cesaro finally knock Finn Balor out of this one? He does. He does. Cesaro is victorious. And he is going on to face Hideo Itami at NXT TakeOver Arrival for the NXT Championship. As we see, only one replay in this match. That's a bit bad, isn't it, really? Didn't need more replays in a match as good as this. But that is the final elimination. Cesaro eliminates Finn Balor. And Cesaro is going on to face Hideo Itami for the NXT Championship at NXT TakeOver Arrival in 3 weeks' time. What a great match that has been. And thank you very much once again to Nathan Wim for suggesting this big 6-man battle royal. It's been a great idea, and it's really pulled out a fantastic main event for us at NXT TakeOver Arrival, which will be, of course, in 2.5 weeks' time. So anyway, guys, that is the end of our very first episode of NXT. I hope you've all enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it, so I'm hoping you have as well. Of course, be sure to like this video. It does help me out a lot. And of course, like it for not only just like the video, but of course, we had Tyler Breeze winning the television championship. Nia Jax is the #1 contender for the women's championship. Enzo, Amore, and Colin Cassidy, the #1 contenders for the tag team championships. And Cesaro is the #1 contender for Hideo Itami's NXT championship. And of course, subscribe if you're not already for a lot more 2K16 footage. Like I said, I'm going to try and get to the point now where I upload an episode of NXT a day. An episode of Universe Mode a day, one random match a day, and an episode of Fallout 4. That's what I'm trying to get to at the moment, and I think I'm just about getting there now. But yeah, I think that's all about. I've lost my voice again. It's just about the end of the video, isn't it? That's about all I've got to say to you. That's what I'm trying to say. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for the first episode of Ring of Honor Television.